Hello everyone, welcome to the Art Workshop with Christopher Epling. Thanks for tuning in today. We have something special in store for you. Now I want to remind everyone that all of these videos can be found if you were to go to the holler.org. Those resources are available to you. There's a bunch of videos that have been created to help you through learning the first steps, the initial steps in basic drawing, which is really important for young artists interested in maybe even pursuing this as a career one day or as a general hobby. I also would like to thank Pike TV for having this show made available to the community. Pike TV does care about valuable cultural resources here in our region and fostering those talents and interest in a broad range of topics. So it's a great resource available to you, and I hope you take advantage of it, really. So what we're doing now, we're going to be breaking into a few different segments. We're going to actually, instead of an hour long, we're going to be doing 20-minute to 30-minute segments. This offers more of a diversity amongst the topics that we're going to be offering here on Pike TV, and also enables us to be able to produce more stuff that's interesting to you, the public, especially for the young artist looking to use this as a resource in learning how to gain more techniques and enhance their abilities with basic drawing. Now, before we get started today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the materials I'm going to be using. That's always as of interest, and it's just as important to know what's being used when an artist is working as to what they're actually producing. Now, we're going to be starting out today actually using a tablet. This tablet is a drawing tablet. You don't have to have one of these tablets to use at home in order to produce the things we're going to be producing. But it is very, very efficient whenever we're showing you the different techniques that we're going to be using in order to produce the types of work we're going to be producing today. From there, a little bit later on, we're going to be moving on to good old-fashioned paper, pencil and paper. And for that, I'm going to be using actually a mechanical pencil. The mechanical pencils that I'm using can be purchased at any hobby store or online. You can find these pencils here locally. You also need an eraser, of course, for mistakes. I do a lot of erasing with my work. You do not have to have a mechanical pencil to do these techniques or exercises with, but a regular 2B pencil or a 2H pencil will work just fine. Okay. Also, a little bit later, we're going to be inking. And for the purpose of inking today, I actually have a Pentel brush. Now, this Pentel brush can be purchased also at any hobby store, locally or online. They're fairly cheap as well. Now, there's other ways to ink your works. You can actually go out and purchase ink and use a brush to dip that in. This is the old school method, actually. All of the old school stuff that you may have seen from the early, what we call the golden era of comics, Jack Kirby and Will Eisner and all these folks, they use brushes. So they would dip their brush into ink and make the line. So we've advanced 10-fold since then with digital tablets and various other instruments that contain the ink right there in the cartridge for you, so you don't have to do a lot of dipping. So that's our resources. Today our topic actually is going to be something that a lot of students find probably one of the most requested characters and comic lines that I have. I visit a lot of schools, over 300 schools in total since 2010. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has to be one of the most popular of those. And I've brought with me today a book. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection. And if you notice, all of you who have actually are aware of the Ninja Turtle comic line, you know that there's something very interesting about this cover. They all have red bandanas on. Typically, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have different colored bandanas. But the reason that these have red is this is a collection, actually, of all of the early Ninja Turtle comics. They were produced at home, believe it or not, by two friends in Chicago, Illinois, Eastman and Laird. And the reason they have red bandanas is that the early comics were all in black and white. There were no color. So the reason there were no color is the Eastman and Laird, being two friends, they produced these comics using a Xerox machine, actually. So they had an idea for these four turtles that fall into a sewer, land in radioactive ooze. They mutate into teenagers, and they learn ninjutsu by a giant rat. All right, so that's the storyline, believe it or not. Well, they created these comics. They went around to different comic conventions, homemade comics stapled together, what we call mini comics today. They handed those out to various people, and a few landed in the hands of guys at Image Comics, and the rest is history. Now the Ninja Turtles are found on everything from tennis shoes to toothpaste. So today we're going to be learning how to draw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, one thing I'd like to stress to you as we move to the tablet here is that there's tons of different ways to actually draw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's different styles. If you follow the current line that's on television today, the animated series, it's a very different look than the early Ninja Turtles in the comic books. So the look of the Ninja Turtles evolve and have evolved over the years. We're going to be using a couple of different versions today. So we'll start out with the tablet. I'm going to show you how to draw the Ninja Turtles using the Marvel method. If you're unfamiliar with that, please resource the videos available on the Art Workshop, the Art Holler, found on the holler.org. Okay? You can learn more about the Marvel method. We'll be going over it some today. We're going to start out by learning how to draw these comic characters, and then from there we're going to move to paper and pencil, and we're going to be doing a little bit faster editing for you can see sort of a more quickened version of how to draw various looks of the Turtles. Okay? Now the Marvel method is something we discussed earlier on in the Art Workshop, and basically what that means is when you're looking at anything you're considering drawing, you want to start out using shapes like this, like circles, ovals. You may use different types of ovals orientated in different ways. Now, these shapes that I've just shown you here all are just to get an idea of what I mean using the ovals and things. But for the purpose of using the Marvel method when drawing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you want to start out by looking at the general shape. Now, the general shape of the Turtles, you start out with a circle for the head. Okay, I'm going to use this as our guideline. So we have the circle. This makes up the head portion. You're actually going to use an oval for the neck. Okay, we're going to then go into more of an oval shape for the shoulders. Now this looks nothing like the Turtles as of yet, but the reason for that is all of these shapes come together later. You use these as a framework, as a skeleton to go by. Okay, we're going to put circles for the shoulders. You're going to have ovals for the upper arms. You have another smaller circle for the elbows. And if you notice, you're going to see that all of these shapes start to come together to form what looks like a body. And of course now at this point in the stage it doesn't look anything like the characters from the television or comic series, but that changes soon. We have an oval for the waist section here. Okay, we're going to have some more ovals for